Hi, I'm Jamie Dowswell, the Managing Director of Sustainable Aviation Futures, and I'm delighted to be able to speak with Leigh Abrams, who's the Director of Emerging Renewable Fuels with Honeywell UOP. Welcome, Leigh. Perhaps if we could start by just sharing a little bit about your role with Honeywell UOP in the day-to-day.
Thanks, Jamie. So I'm Leigh Abrams. I'm the Director of Emerging Renewable Fuels. And what that means is that I run our business that's focused on looking at the technologies that we license out that are focused on conversion of the most abundant but most challenging feedstocks for production of SAF.
Fantastic. What a great summary. And I think let's talk a little bit more about Honeywell as well. Where do Honeywell sit in the SAF value chain? I think a lot of people know Honeywell UOP from various other sort of industries and technologies, but it'd be great to understand within that SAF space, what you guys do.
Yeah, so Honeywell actually has two different roles in the space. For Honeywell UOP, we are part of the, sort of legacy refining industry. We license technologies. Our technologies are in most of the products that came out of petrochemicals or refining complex in the world. And what we've done is really take that technological know-how and transitioned it to how you approach sustainability problems. Things like how do you make sustainable aviation fuel lower cost and more efficient. We also play in aerospace. We make APUs, components and things like that actually go into planes. And so we participate in the industry in a couple of different ways, both in the production of fuel, but also in the use of that fuel in the equipment that allows airplanes to fly.
Fantastic. Involved in a lot of different parts of the sector by the sounds of things. I do want to talk a little bit about some of Honeywell UOP's recent technologies. And I know that a breakthrough was recently announced in producing SAF using what was described as innovative hydrocracking technology to boost the efficiency of SAF and also substantially reduce carbon intensity, which is, of course, very important. Could you tell us a little bit more about this and how does it work?
Yeah, so this is our FT unicracking technology, and it enables really the pathway all the way from a waste material like MSW or biomass through gasification, Fischer-Tropsch, and then upgrading of those Fischer-Tropsch products into finished fuels. This technology is something that is, again, based on our deep knowledge in the refining space, but now applied to these sustainability problems to really be able to develop a more efficient technology.
Fantastic. And I know that that there was a partnership recently with DG Fuels as well. Could you share a bit more information about the partnership and that technological link up there as well, please?
So, in this space, there's several steps in the process. The step that we focused on for FT through to SAF is in the hydrocracking. So that's that final upgrading step before you make your finished fuels. We're participating in this project with DG Fuels, and we're very excited about it. I think one of the other announced partners in this project is Johnson Matthey, who are using their Fischer-Tropsch technology to enable the project to move forward. And in general, I think this is really a good example of how partnerships really can enable, effective projects. In the e-fuel space, it is challenging enough to make a project move forward, and things like partnerships can help with de-risking the technology.
Fantastic. And you talked about partnerships. My final question to you is, I think you have been with our Sustainable Aviation Futures events since our very first one, so I'm delighted to see you here again. In terms of coming along to this year's Congress and the reasons you've attended previously, what are you looking to get out of attending the Congress?
I think that this Congress is really one of the unique places where we can have a conversation across sectors. And I already mentioned that Honeywell participates both in the aerospace field as well as in the fuel production field. And that's really something that's kind of unique and uniquely situated to this Congress because it's bringing together people from all these different parts of the value chain to really enable projects to develop and move forward, and those hard conversations to happen.
Really pleased to hear you say that, because yes, it is something we work very hard at doing. Leigh, thank you so much for joining us today, and look forward to speaking to you at next year's edition as well.
Thank you, Jamie.